We're actually now looking for quantum dot OLED, having prototypes received some 3 months ago. We are still considering to launch it in the next year.
Hi, this is Phil Hinton. Welcome along to another video here on AV Forums. Today I'm in Gent in Belgium and we're here to visit TP Vision Philips, and first of all we're going to have a look at the TVs. Danny, we're here in Gent. It's a very impressive facility you have here. So what actually happens here?
We have here 4 focal points. One is the picture quality. One is called big data. The third one is the broadcast pillar. And also we have now also audio competence inside this building.
So what kind of thing goes on within the building? What is it used for? Is it R&D or is...
Yes, it's R&D, and it's the innovation part of R&D. We have in different facilities over the world the main standard development, but here we are focusing on the innovations in picture quality, video processing algorithms. Same goes for the audio part, but we also have 2 other pillars, as I mentioned. Big data, using factual-based to make factual-based decisions, and we have a big broadcast team that makes sure all the broadcast providers are certified all over Europe.
Now, a lot of forum members will know who you are. We've done lots of events with you in the past looking at the TVs. What's your role here? What is it that you do within this building, and what facilities do you have at your disposal?
Well, I'm the innovation manager, as my title also says, but I'm driving the innovation on picture quality. So the whole picture quality team is working for me, doing the new innovations in the top of our range for the coming years.
When you say the coming years, I mean, how far in advance do you work when it comes to new models? I mean, we're here to talk about the 807, 907 and 937, but those will have been planned a long time ago, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we are already very active now, of course, on the 2023 range. But even beyond that, we are looking into new display technologies like Microlet, together with a big team in Taipei, because there the whole display facility or the display competence of Microlet is, and here in Gent, and we match it with special video processing to do those kind of technologies in the future. And yeah, we're now active already on Microlet, expecting to bring that innovation in probably 2-3 years from now.
And what challenges do you find working so far in advance? Because I would imagine you have to speak to your suppliers and third parties. You have to watch what's happening in the market, what new technologies are coming along. So what kind of challenges does that present to you?
Well, it's challenges and opportunities. Indeed, like you say, we're working with suppliers, with mainly display suppliers and chip suppliers, looking into their roadmaps. What do they have in the pipeline? We of course monitor all the time our competition, our competitors in different parts of the range, and then of course you also have like new sources coming in. All of those things together, I wouldn't call it challenges. They're all like bringing opportunities from various angles. And here in Gent, with video processing, we're trying to squeeze out the most and differentiate from competitors with that. Like you say, we're in terms of chip set, we're mainly working with MTK, but in other parts of the range we have also different suppliers. But talking about the high-end part, it's with MediaTek, but MediaTek, you have the main silicon, and what we do here in Gent is we develop special video algorithms, and those are ported inside the MediaTek chip, which are exclusive for us. That's one thing. And on top of that, in some parts of our range, in the really high end, we are adding our own chip to the MediaTek in the 937, which is here behind me. We have a dual chip P5 solution, and that extra chip is solely developed here in Gent.
Danny, there's been a lot of talk on the forums about the OLED 936 and OLED 937 with the dual processor approach, where you can't game in 4K 120 at full resolution. So what would your answer be to that?
Well, we made a choice, a deliberate choice of bringing the best video performance to the consumer in that product, and that only goes with the P5 dual engine, and that does not is not possible to combine it with VRR 120 full resolution. But having said that, I believe the gaming experience, even in that product, is still very good.
Just so people understand your range, the 807 and the 907, that's the all-rounder where you're going to get great picture quality, but you're also going to get all the gaming features, is that correct?
Exactly. All the gaming features, which are also in the 937, but with the single chip solution, we can give you the full virtual resolution in 4K 120 VRR solution.
In terms of your product lineup, when it comes to your job in terms of the best picture, is it only at the high end that we're going to get all of the benefits of that, or is this something that bleeds down or trickles down to the whole range in terms of picture quality?
Definitely. So what we do is here in Ghent, we do the innovation for the really high-end range, but those new innovations will later on go down into the range the year after, one range down, one more year, again a range lower. So all innovations that are starting at the top are tripling down into the entire range.
And what excites you? I mean, have we reached the pinnacle of OLED? Have we reached as far as we can take that technology? Your job is to come up with the next picture processing algorithm where we get even more out of the panels. Have we plateaued, or do you think there's still a lot more to offer?
I think if you talk about OLED, it's pretty new, that technology. So in terms of the display, the light output, whether it's in full light or peak light, will grow, the color gamut will grow, especially the full light, which is at this moment you could say still weak compared to normal LCD, because today best OLED panels reach 200 nit for full white, whereas in the mainstream, the bottom part of the LCD LED range, we have already 300 nit. So in that respect, OLED is lagging behind and will make tremendous steps. And if that happens, we again, and with video processing, whether it's in the area of HDR picture processing or with our exclusive perfect natural reality feature converting SDR to HDR, we can do marvelous things.
And talking about future and OLED, obviously we've seen QD OLED come to market this year with two vendors. Is that technology something that interests Philips in the future? Is that something that you're looking at?
Definitely. So we're actually at this moment, as we speak, are making prototypes, doing comparisons with our current white OLEDs and see where the strengths and the weaknesses are. And based on that, we will make a decision of which OLED technology goes in which part of the range.
And when it comes to making decisions like that, is that something that is done quite quickly? Can you go from like this year's model range to next year, or does it take a few years for that process to happen?
Fairly quickly, maybe 1 year is not enough, but definitely with 2 years we're capable of doing. We're actually now looking for quantum dot OLED, having prototypes received some 3 months ago. We are still considering it to launch it in the next year.
Now, what is it that gets you out of bed in the morning and brings you into the office and makes you happy to be at your job? What is it that does it for you in terms of TV technology, and where do you see things going?
Well, I want to bring the best viewing experience to the consumer, and we're every day with a whole team looking at the TV, what can be improved, which things can be brought to a higher level. And you know me, I'm very much into a vivid picture, although we are not calling it vivid anymore now. We're calling it crystal clear because we think, that was feedback also we got from readers from your magazine, that our vivid mode was very good, and maybe therefore the name was a bit negative. That's why we renamed it to crystal clear. But we want to bring crystal clear, beautiful colors to the consumer at home, and that's my daily goal, challenge.
I want to move on to the USP of Philips, the one thing that really stands out on the TVs right throughout the range, and that's AmbiLite. It's a fantastic technology. It's been around a long time, and I love it because it's a bias light. You know, we can use it as a static bias light, and over the years it's improved with ISF setting, being able to adjust it, being able to choose the wall color or even measure the wall color, and then calibrate AmbiLite. Have we seen the best of AmbiLite, or are you still working on that technology?
Well, this year we, and you can see it here behind me, we launched again more accuracy in AmbiLite. We call it AmbiLite Next Generation, whereas in the past we had one driver IC driving 3 LEDs of the backstrip for AmbiLite. Now we have like one driver IC per LED. We have 3 times more AmbiLite resolution, let's say it. That's what we did, what we have done for this year. And of course we are looking into new concepts for the future.
How far do you think you can take AmbiLite? Where do you think the future lies with that technology?
Well, you know, in the past we had this AmbiLux technology, which was giving using projectors to map your AmbiLite behind the TV in a very accurate way. This is, for instance, a product that was quite expensive in implementation, and this kind of things we would like to bring back, but in a more cost-effective way.
Okay, so we'll stay tuned for the future on that one. But
definitely.
But yeah, AmbiLite is definitely your USP. So let's move on. So are you going for a signature picture? Are you going for a certain look that says this is a Philips TV?
Yes, definitely the crystal clear picture, which is in case of the top of the range, the one that is taking care of P5 picture processing, P5 AI, and then in the middle of the range it's the P5 processing, and in the bottom part of the range it's still our older Pixel HD picture processing. But all of them, I try to make sure that the most vivid mode is looking similar. Of course, the movie mode down in the range or the filmmaker mode in the middle of the range, that's due to filmmaker mode, movie mode requirements are already quickly looking to each other, and then everything in between, like the home cinema mode, like the standard mode, are tweaked and tuned to be step ups and still equally looking over the whole range.
Apart from the soundbar, what's the main difference between the 907 and the 807?
The main difference is the OLED panel. There we have an even higher positioned OLED panel. It's with an extra heatsink in the back, and therefore it can drive 1300 nit peak. That's the, as you say, apart from the sound, which is the Bowers & Wilkins sound built in, the main difference.
And then your flagship TV for this year, maybe you can explain that one a little bit.
And then the super duper home cinema system is of course in our 937. It comes again with a better sound system, but it comes also with the P5 AI dual engine. And the dual engine gives you a superior home cinema experience, video experience, because of the dual engine, and because of having there things like perfect natural reality, second generation, because of the AI machine learned sharpness, and also in case you're watching less good material from OTT. We have also the smart bit enhancement 2.0 to make all your bad quality sources also super clean.
So this is basically the picture quality TV in your lineup?
It's the picture quality TV in our lineup, and I think also seen from ISA Award already, but also from the first reviews that came after IFA. It seems to be like one of the best TVs in the market.
And it's interesting that you say that, because you don't shy away from putting your products out there. You've done 2 shootouts with us recently where you've put your TVs in blind assessments. Is that something that you're continually doing? Are you benchmarking against the best out there and seeing where you can create your little niche?
Definitely. This year we had a new player inside that benchmark, which is Samsung. Before that, we did not look a lot to Samsung, because for me it's about comparing video processing. There is little to do in the OLED screen, and so we take the same video technology, display technology, but then with video processing, the P5 processing from us, and the consequent exclusive picture processing from the competition, we can make differences with each other, and in that respect I think P5 performs much better than all the others.
And when it comes to technology, will you look at anything new that comes along and consider that? And what kind of process do you go in terms of looking to the future?
Yeah, we are. We know that we saw from Samsung they were already showing at different events, exhibitions, Microlet. So it's probably something coming our way. As I mentioned, we have a big facility in Taipei working on displays. There we are building today already Microlet prototypes, and when the time will be ripe, we'll be ready to bring that product, we will be there. But there's still a long way to go, because Microlet, on one hand, the Microlets are still very expensive, and there is still a challenge of getting the right size, getting the right resolution in the right screen size.
Danny, we're talking about 4K TV. It's everywhere now. You'd struggle to buy a 1080p TV. We also seem to have been missing 8K. It seems to have made an appearance and then disappeared slightly. Is 8K in future plans, or do you think 4K is where things really should be?
As you mentioned, we have shown at previous events our 8K prototype, so we have products. We even launched in China as a company. We've launched an 8K product already. But in Europe, we think the market is not ready for it yet, in terms of the price, in terms of sources which are there available. So we are monitoring all the time, and when the time will be ready for 8K, we will bring it to the consumer.
And do you think it will come?
Yeah, well, I don't think in the next 2-3 years, because there's still a lot of challenges, no sources, but also now discussions on power consumption are popping up, so lots of things to solve still. As we've moved from Full HD to 4K, it came without the source, and still 4K is now booming. I do believe 8K probably will come, but probably slower also than the introduction we got on 4K.
And what's your final message to the AV Forums members in terms of your lineup this year? What is it that excites you?
The most exciting product is of course the 937, but I am also very proud on the 907 and even 807. And yeah, there are many other products in the range for those people that don't like OLED. We also have a whole mini LED range, and below that we have some more mainstream models. All TV products within their category I'm proud of.
Danny, it's been great catching up here in Gent. Fantastic facility. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.